Welcome, welcome. It's a new week. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. Thanks for tuning in to the latest Lone Wolves Detroit Lions podcast here on February 16th. Hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day weekend. Thanks, everybody, for letting me know it's the favorite hour of the weekday. It's 7 o'clock. You know what that means. Time to talk Detroit Lions with your favorite homie, insider, NFL writer, podcaster. Lots going on. Hope everybody got a chance to enjoy the weekend. A little bit better weather. Got to go outside and walk a little bit. I was down at Huntington Place for my daughter's volleyball. It was a great time. Then out in Livonia on Sunday. So it was a fun time. Got a chance to get outside a little bit, fresh air. Now another week kicks off, 1 week ahead of the combine. So this week we'll have an opportunity to start breaking down who or what the heck I'm going to do out there. What should the doc do out in Indy besides get in trouble? Going to meet with agents, executives, friends of the podcast. It'll be a great time. Hopefully catch up with the fellas too. So first and foremost, thank you humbly for another great week. Lots of interesting stuff to write about. 5-6 stories strong at Detroit Lions on SI. Thanks for visiting. What are we going to get to today? Well, wild talk has started to take over. We're in the offseason, so obviously a lot of speculation, a lot of talk. Well, a caller called up 97.1 and made a bold trade that was wild, but one of the hosts agreed with it. So we're going to talk about it. Alex Anzalone wants to be included in highlight videos. Was he wrong? It was lighthearted, but it makes sense. Like if you're somebody at work, do you need a certain level of acknowledgement? I know I do. But I want acknowledgement from my peers. I got acknowledgement from everywhere else. So we'll talk about that because it's funny. And we'll talk about it. The Dolphins started their free agency early. They started whacking their players. Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, a bunch of players that needed to let go of to add salary cap space. So a lot of you want to talk about it. So I wrote about it and caught up with a, trusted NFL reporter to talk about the Dolphins. So we want to know, is Bradley Chubb worth a phone call when it's time to start free agency? We'll talk all about it. Hope everyone's well. And also, too, taking your questions, comments. It can be about anything. Shout out to the early 100 people in here. Tom McCraw, Riley O'Brien, my friend Doughboy Steve, Mishanuga, Nick 1589. Appreciate everybody. That's right. Favorite hour, talking Detroit Lions or anything else that's on your mind. I'm going to do better than Ilya M from the Olympics. All he had to do was not fall, fell flat on his face. Talk about pressure at the highest level. It can get to you. I told my daughter, I said, man, very rarely do I say I want to do extra. You know what I mean? But I wanted to, I wanted to go out there and be like, all the pressure in the world, all you got to do is calm down. Don't make it bigger than it is. Go do your quads. But failed to deliver the gold. Rich Baldwin 9042. It's good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm excited to go down to Indy, catch up with the NFL world, see if there's any noise to make. Extra Trim Reaper, my man. Always good to see you. I'm excited for this offseason, hoping the Lions brass puts together a winner. Shout out to you, Tom. I hope so too. All right, so here's what started this week. So I'm going about my business, putting together the show idea. Obviously, Alex Anzalone made news on a Sunday. Obviously, some things to talk about with Maxx Crosby, just learning about what other people are thinking. The biggest fear that I would have is if Maxx Crosby ends up with a team in the division. Not likely the Packers, not likely the Vikings, but another team. So an NFL reporter put together a trade for Maxx Crosby to go to the Bears. But that's not the wild trade idea. So you're going about your business and you're enjoying sports radio and getting your car washed, hanging out with the kids a little bit. They're off this week. So I did my articles early, hung out with the kids, took them shopping, had a great time. My daughters are the best and they're funny. They're learning. And I start seeing, I listened to a couple podcasts, 97.1. I listened to the earlier hour about 3:00 where they were talking about, do you trust Dan Campbell more than Brad Holmes? Interesting topic. And then I go about my business, and I'm here in the office prepping the show, relaxing a little bit, little sports on TV. And all of a sudden I see Booner's like, wild. I'm like, what's going on? And Rico Beard, friend of the podcast, good dude. I think he's very much highly criticized for giving his opinions, but he had an interesting one here. He pulled off one that got everybody riled up. Here's what happened. Okay. And that's why you love sports radio is it'd be just like me pulling up one of your comments and talking about it. A caller, one of y'all put this toxic idea out in the atmosphere. Y'all did it. They call up and say, hey, Rico, hey, Jeff Rieger, how you doing? Jeff filling in for Mike Valeni. What do you guys think if the Lions, because everybody wants to upgrade the defense, what do you think about trading Amon-Ra St. Brown for Chris Jones? And everybody's like, what? Jeff Rieger's like, no, man, I can't do that. Amon-Ra's in his prime. He's your best receiver. Rico shocks everyone. And the whole internet's like, what? And I have to be like the same thing because it's a more interesting debate for Maxx Crosby. But the cap numbers are terrible. But Rico's like, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Rico Beard would trade Amon-Ra St. Brown for Chris Jones of the Chiefs, who's 31 years old. That's tough because Chris Jones has fallen off. He's not as good, not his most productive year. You got to upgrade your defensive line, but with better players along the interior. There's younger players, right? I think it is one of the funnier takes you're going to hear out there. And so the internet is just wilding out like, what? But you all came up with that. Obviously, I don't think nobody's going to support that. What do you think when you hear wild trade idea? Do you just move on? What are your thoughts about it? What are your thoughts about what was said? It's Jay Steves. Aleem equals Chris Jones equally ASS. It's Jay, man. Rough times in Spartan land, huh? Wisconsin hit another 3. They were on fire. My goodness. It's Jay. Tom McCraw. I miss the old Silver Rush. Al Bubba Baker was the man. The only player in the league I see even close is Myles Garrett. Oh, the good old days. Time to move on. Yeah, it's time to think about Lee McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Jack Campbell. Shout out to Jack Campbell. If you saw online, he's expecting his first young child. I like it, Gumby. Tell us fans the soothing answers. Smash the like button. It's the free and easy way to support. Get your super chats in. We read as many of them as humanly possible within the confines of the hour. So, these are the wild trade ideas that came through today that I saw that were debated. Obviously, no one's going to do Amon-Ra for Chris Jones. That's a little tough. Would you do, to make it a little bit more interesting for Maxx Crosby, would you do J-Mo and a first for Maxx Crosby straight up? Maybe for Maxx Crosby and a third or a fourth to get something back, a little taste back. Would you trade J-Mo for Maxx Crosby? That's the one that got me. Oh, man. You got Tesla. You're giving the Raiders something. You're giving the Raiders a top receiver for potentially Fernando Mendoza, who's presumably the number 1 pick. Would you trade J-Mo for Maxx Crosby? That one's tough. I still wouldn't do it. I love what J-Mo's upside's going to be. But man, if I could get Maxx Crosby on this roster, you make the defense better. You potentially draft another receiver. You could draft someone. I haven't even looked at the receivers yet. I've been so locked in to defensive ends, offensive linemen. I don't see yet a wide receiver I'd go, yeah, I want that guy. But I'm going to start looking this week. That's where the reading will go tomorrow. Now, this week might be a little lighter. I might, because my kids are off this week. This is winter break. I didn't leave to Bermuda. I should have, right? I should have seeked out the warm weather. I'm in need of it. I got, like everybody else in Michigan, I get worn down with work and everything around this time. Like, I'm ready for a vacation. One Repub knows what's up on the schedule. Chubb? Question mark? Stay tuned. That's on the list. X the trims down. Yes, I trade Waymo for Crosby. Woo! X the trim putting himself out there. I understand dead cap, suspenseful habits. The dead money won't work for JMO. Dead money is 12 min, and he's only 8 mil against the cap this year. Yeah, it's not great business, but it's not terrible. At 12 million dead is not terrible. It's not a winning move per se for the capologist, but you're getting Maxx Crosby. I think Alim McNeil is the trade where you eat a bunch of cap, like $80 million. Extra trim. I love Waymo, but we got wide receiver depth. We have no Hutch help. Man. Would you trade JMO for Maxx Crosby? Receivers are easier to get than edge rushers. Tom's in the vote. Yes. Wow. So, that's interesting trade proposal. Interesting trade proposal. True, I'd love Mad Max and make Tesla the number 2. How big a loss would it be to not have JMO? I mean, here's the problem. Here's the reason why. Now, look, again, I veto that. I put it out there, but I would not do it. Here's the problem. Do you have enough time to add enough depth along your offensive line to be able to throw it deep? Last year, Jared Goff was only throwing about 6 yards on average per air yard in his passes. So he's only throwing about 6-7 yards every pass. Teams did the zone. They were able to run zone against you, too high safety. They took away your deep pass. They made your deep passing attack irrelevant for the most part. But the offense was still moving. Do you say, you know what? Let's forsake the deep passes for the most part, and let's just keep it moving and scale down the offense in regards to the explosiveness, kind of like the Seahawks. The Seahawks weren't all that explosive. It was dumped down to the tight ends. They had to get by without Smith and Jigba, who got hurt in the Super Bowl. Do you need JMO? He definitely does a lot, but you can get some of that deep threat option with Tesla. Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, screens, run him out there a little bit. Draft another receiver. Problem is you've invested in JMO, so it doesn't make logical sense to do it, and your cap would be really tough to add a $30 million player in Maxx Crosby. Michael wants to get rid of Alim and Kirby. The cap doesn't work that way. I'm going to check it out here. When I type in Alim's contract, the money you'd have to pay would wreck your cap. I'm going to type in Alim McNeil contract, and it's going to tell you a number. I'm sorry, man. I love that fantasy trade, but when I tell you the dead cap, you're going to be like, ooh. You can't because you got to pay it. The second you trade them, you got to pay it, and you're in big trouble. Oh, that's not terrible. 26, cap hits 28 million, dead cap is 37. That's tough. After this year, it gets easier down to 12.8. You can't lob off a check for $40 million. It goes against your cap. Oh. That's a little tough. It's Jay Stees. JMO is one of a kind. I'd rather trade Saint. Slot receivers grow on trees. Zay Flowers, Tank Dell, Ayuk. Oh, You're willing to trade Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let me look at Amon-Ra St. Brown's contract here. What kind of dead cap would that be? I just think that some of the salary cap talks here with the fantasy, the implications are not what you guys expect. It would just you can't trade Goff. I think Goff's dead cap's like $100 million. So you can't trade him. And that's what sucks is that the Bills do. That's what void years, all these contracts, what they do is it makes it so that if you move on from somebody, you can't instantly let them go. Oh, Amon-Ra. If you trade Amon-Ra St. Brown here, Amon-Ra St. Brown dead cap in 2026 is $44 million. Yeah. So it's not likely. Steve Wilds. Cut Booner for Doc on crunch time. Steve. You guys are definitely willing to trade Ali McNeil. A Green. Yes, I would absolutely trade JMO for Maxx. You make your cornerbacks better. I just feel like what's tough is that you have this great player in Jameson, but you're not using him. You got 1,000 yards out of him, but you've just scratched the surface of what he can do. I think he's about to enter that CeeDee Lamb conversation where he's used a lot. He's able to get targets, and hopefully Drew Petzing understands the value. John Morton did not understand. He talked at the combine and said, I and others asked him, hey, it's you got a lot of mouths to feed, Mr. John Morton, and you got to be able to get the ball to St. Brown and Gibbs and Laporta and get everybody involved. And he didn't do it. Once Dan Campbell took over, you saw the guys eat a little bit more. Do you think, guys, Ali McNeil is going to have a bounce back year so his name is not involved in trade talks? I love Big Mac, says X to Trim Reaper. He will have a bounce back season. I don't expect the Lions defense to evolve because they have a bad scheme and a bad defensive coordinator, according to Steve Wilds. See, it's important. You have to have a trade. That's why the JMO trade for Maxx Crosby, it stings. It makes it so you got to think about it. Let's look at the dead cap for Jameson Williams. See, the problem is with these void years, when you add these void years, it makes it tough to be able to make these moves. $25 million in dead cap versus his cap hit of $8 million. Dead cap of $25 million. Yeah, it's tough. But like they say, can't teach speed. Michael Shembri, 4668. Good to see you in here. E. Taylor in the house. What's up, Doc? I'm glad I caught you live. Same. Make sure you guys, the 200 people in here, smash the like button. And the deadline. Booner wants you done by 8. I think that's going to happen today. Yeah, no, I'm trying to be professional with the friends of the podcast. But if there's something that pops off, we'll go till 11 o'clock if I have to. But 7 o'clock really is perfect to launch a live show. Lead up until crunch time. Everybody's there's no live show consistently on at 7 every single night. And we got our first super chat on the 16th from friend of the podcast, MVP Steve Wilds, $9.99. Thanks for being the most trusted source for Lions coverage, and that's the DOC. And that means a lot, man. Thanks a lot. You know it. Launched the show a year ago, weekly, and now we're doing it daily. 7 o'clock is the Doc's time. You know what time it is. And I only do it because I get to see my name sometimes. You guys talk about me sometimes in other shows, and then I hop in. It's fun. It's fun when you're just listening in and trying to come up with story ideas, show ideas, and then they're like, oh, Doc's at this, and just part of the YouTube community. It's all you could ever ask for. In the mix. Doc is a no-limit soldier. One Repub, shout out to you. Great question, Michael S. Shout out to you. I want to see you more in the comments, more in the chat. What I see them doing is being willing to add talent along the offensive line, but no splashes. I think they add, and guess what? If you want more, we bring it all. Splashes, expensive contracts, what we want. Vito today at Detroit Lions on SI, he did a realistic free agent list. Go give him support. Detroit Lions on SI. I think they go a little bit lower tier in that $6 to $8 million range for a couple guys. They're strapped against it. Maybe one splash, $12 million guy. Young linebacker, young defensive end. But I think the position that they really target, no matter what, is offensive line. Maybe you get a veteran left tackle as a replacement, a veteran center. You drop the cash there. You fill the holes. Maybe a cornerback vet. Maybe a safety vet. Fill some holes. And then you draft defensive line. You draft linebacker. You draft to where you want to develop. That's what I think. What do you guys think? What do you think they end up doing? Honestly, Goff has had success with wide receivers that run 4.4 to 4.6. St. Brown, Cooper Kupp, Josh Reynolds. Suspenseful habits. Very fair. Very wise. Shout out to Xavier. We really don't have a lot of players left on defense. It would not be that hard to rescheme into a 2 linebacker set. Corey Patterson, love seeing you in here. Love your respect, man. Appreciate you. No bias bees from the doc. What are the slappies saying today? We love Drew Petzing and the way he talks. Drew Petzing should just start a podcast. He'd have 100% approval rate all the way up until training camp. But it's a good start. You know, it's better than what John Morton did. John Morton, everyone's looking like, we don't know if this guy can communicate or if he wants to. That's a start. So it's interesting. JMO, their value. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't believe Rico Beard said he would trade Amon-Ra St. Brown for Chris Jones. Woo! In a heartbeat, he said. In a heartbeat. 4:30 p.m. I can timestamp it. You can go check it out. Odyssey. Great app. You can tune it in. Listen, Rico has good takes. Rico has bold takes. He's not afraid to share what he's thinking. That one's a little hot. Woo! Maybe a little smoking hot. Now, a little more realistic. The Dolphins did some chopping today. They're like, And so it was interesting. Another reporter also an hour after me thought of the same thing. So we did the same. We did the natural same thing. We looked, and what we did was we said, okay, Bradley Chubb got cut. He had 8.5 sacks. Okay. Uh-oh, ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. He's a Brad Holmes guy. You're like, Doc, why are you sounding the alarm? Ding, 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 ding. He's a Brad Holmes guy. Why? Tore his ACL in 23. Out for 24. It was a blockbuster trade. You can go check it out. But I'm thumbs down on Bradley Chubb. So why? Clearly his age. I think you can get. So today was interesting. It's funny. You can see the inner workings. So I see Bradley Chubb. I'm like, oh, that's a name people are going to talk about. So that's the first thing I go, oh. And so I go, okay, let me check in with a bunch of Dolphins reporters who I know and respect. Clearly they came to town. So I became friends with some of them. And I say, hey, what do you think about Chubb? And they're like, well, he did a lot of cleanup duty. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I thought that meant that, kind of like a couple of 8 sacks where the linebacker or the other defensive end gets him down. He's around it, gets a half sack. No, meaning that the linebacker gets a pressure or a defensive end gets a pressure and he's around and he cleans up. but his pass rush was inconsistent. That's what I heard across the board, was that he's a good player, but probably not what the Lions are looking for in terms of high motor, consistent pass rush. Good, not great, probably not the best if you're in a bidding war for Bradley Chubb. So I'm thumbs down. That means he's probably high on Brad Holmes's draft board or on his free agency board. Oh, former hit. Oh, can be affordable and has a major injury. That could bring his price down. Now, I think he could fit, but I would just go with Al-Quadin Muhammad. I'm looking at who could top Al-Quadin Muhammad and take his job. Do you go after Jalen Phillips? Do you go after Phillips and Chubb? Reunite the Dolphins defense. What are your guys' thoughts? Again, I may be wrong, but obviously a handful of Dolphins reporters are not high on the Lions getting him. They say, no. So he was part of that blockbuster trade a couple years ago. The crazy what the Dolphins sent the Broncos, and you got a couple years out of him. His first year, he was pretty good. I think in 22, in the second half of the year, 23, he was okay until week 17. So it was an okay trade, but not as impactful as maybe the trade warranted. What do you guys think? And listen, and so I start writing it. I'm like, okay, I'm down. I'm thumbs down on it. So naturally, the AI writers at Detroit Sports Nation, they were like, yeah, we like it. If you guys saw, there's some big news about AI. And, the good thing is we still value writing at Detroit Lions on SI. Myself, Christian, Vito, we don't use AI and have DSN staff review anything. So I'm not a fan of that at all. We write because it's fun and we convey information. I am not a fan of that. I just think that that's a lazy approach to create content, to take other people's ideas and use AI to fill content. But I get it. It could be used. I don't not understand it, but I like sitting down in front of a computer, putting words together, putting ideas together, and day after day. But they acknowledge it. They acknowledge they do it. They acknowledge that they do it in every article. It's at the bottom, but I just don't agree with it. I could see where it can be useful, where quick concept, but a lot of times it's wrong. So bad spelling. I just don't agree with. I agree with having stats, using it for research, but no. At the end of the day, we type our words out, and we are. And I honestly, we have a policy. If I did it, I'd be gone. So that's a policy. There's no AI at Detroit Lions on SI. I can't speak for anybody else, but Detroit Lions on SI. The words are viewed by Vito and Christian and Emmett and written by us. But it's here. It's here. And a sports site in Michigan's using it lazily, in my opinion. AG's burner. I run Detroit Lions on AI. Don't do it. I think you lose respect when you do it. Do you guys like AI for that purpose? I mean, there's a lot of quick information out there. But so I'm writing, and every single day it's a joy to be able to do it. But you guys got to keep supporting it and keep the core group has to keep reading it. So I start writing it, and I'm like, okay, I disagree. I don't think that it's something that's going to benefit the Lions. And I think that here's another reason. So part of the reason is his injury history, and the Lions have bad luck with that. I think that Al-Quadin Muhammad's better. 2, also, the Miami Dolphins reporters are not a fan. And then finally, I have a lot of respect for Daniel Jeremiah. He says, if you're down for needing defensive ends, you could double up in this draft. Double up. And that's what he said on social media. So the Lions already have Ahmed Hassanin, who's going to develop, and I think he's going to be great. You're going to try to see what you have in Mekhi Wingo and Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike. If you can get anything out of the depth guys, that's fine. But I think you bring back Al-Quadin Muhammad. You pay him the $8 million, probably the better value. Al-Quadin Muhammad, Ahmed Hassanin, a free agent or 2 draft picks, you go with that. That's right. And I can't hate on people that do it. I get it. If you can't write, if you have no talent, or you can't put your ideas together, or you're busy, what's the easiest, laziest way to do it? Push a button and throw out stuff. But that's not a community, in my opinion. But I understand it's going that way. Could you imagine seeing the virtual doc do a podcast? Be like, Virtual Fridays. It's just a robot doc where I can feed in my words. Could you imagine? I could feed in a script. Be like, talk to the chat today about Ahmed Hassanin. Ahmed Hassanin is from Egypt. He is the first Egyptian to get drafted in the NFL. He is also a talented player in his first year. Could you imagine if there was no elevation to my voice, there's no tone, it's just a robot talking to you guys. Tom, appreciate you, man. What? Hold on a second. Put her in front of the camera. I have to run. I'll watch the rest of the video later. My wife is bringing me something more fun than off-season football. Okay. Well, to the missus, I'm sorry. I launched a daily podcast that takes Tom away from you, but this is only 40 minutes a day. Every man deserves 40 minutes of podcast time. But today, Tom, you get a pass. To the missus, I appreciate you. Thanks for letting our Tom hang out with us. Get back here and in the comments soon, Tom. Appreciate you. $4.99 super chat. Schools use programs to check for AI. How about the media starts the same? Well, they have to disclose it. It's easy to see. It's easy to spot. And a lot of times the media are openly disclosing it. Like the site says, on some sites, it'll say written by AI, checked by us. It'll tell you. And I'm telling them, I don't like it. Appreciate you, Nuga. You're the man. My man. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. A lot of kids are using AI. It's the way, and we'll talk about it in sports. A lot of people are using it. Sometimes people do podcasts, and then you just throw your podcast into AI and let it transcribe it and throw it out there. I just can't do it. I like sitting in front of the computer, putting together articles. It's like a little puzzle. No computer is going to run Detroit Lions on SI. My ideas are better than a computer, and forever will be. I'm smarter than a computer. Detroit Lions on AI. They should just go steal it for the hell of it. Detroit Lions on AI. Man, should I do it? Should I just do it on the side? No, thumbs down to AI. And if you see a site that does it, click off of them. Egyptian nightmare. What do you guys think about Bradley Chubb? So those are my reasons, is that you can get defensive end in the draft. I think Al-Quadin Muhammad's better. So I release it and someone's like, that's not deep enough. I'm like, bro, I got other things to do. It's a nice day. I was like, it's Monday. What kind of depth do you want? You want his in-depth PFF score, all that kind of stuff? I'm like, it's Monday. I gave you 4 reasons. They're like, it's not deep enough. I'm like, bro, go somewhere else then. I'm like, sorry. I apologized to the guy for being so terse, but I'm like, what kind of depth do you want on just a free agent? I gave 4 good reasons. Phil C 231, Chubb seems to be a choice. He's a guy. He's a jag. But I think that Al-Quadin Muhammad's better. He's 31. Chubb is old, you're right, from one repub. Michael S., appreciate you, man. Michael Shembry, 4668, getting in today. I wouldn't mind Chubb if he stays kind of healthy. You know what that means. 2 games in, he'll be out. Do you guys use AI? I'm just curious on the side. Do you guys use AI for anything you do? Like I know newspapers, when I first saw that, when they use the here's our main topics written by AI. Man, I'm just like, that's a bad can of worms to go down. Steve thinks mass unemployment. That's why, like I said, I've always been blessed to do a podcast, because if I get replaced by AI, if Detroit Lions on AI hits, I got a podcast that has been successful and a company that's been successful, just talking sports. So I'm prepared, doing the videos, but I can't say there's no replacement for my face, my voice, my words, my energy. No AI is taking my job. Hell no. Partner with AI. Listen, now, if it's a female computer, maybe we'll have a different discussion. Good morning, Mr. Macaroon. Good morning. What will you write in me today? Oh my goodness. Suspenseful habits. You got the hot take today. I think there's no one going to top that. I think everybody would thumbs down that. I wouldn't mind Davenport if he stays healthy. My goodness. Bradley Chubb can get to the quarterback, can do things. One repub. Doc is one of us, 100% unique. That's right, one of you. Right? And I promise you, if it's a tape show and you see Detroit Lions on SI, that's me. That's me in the chat. There is no AI at Detroit Lions on SI. Facts. But some people feel that way, that's what they're like. Some people will say, I don't want to click your articles, Doc. Half the time people will question me not having read the article. They'll be like, oh, why don't you like Bradley Chubb? I'd be like, I wrote the reasons in the story. So we'll see how it's going to work its way out with artificial intelligence. Ask Booner. You know, a lot of the tweets that he puts out are written by AI. I've seen his English. I don't know if he can put 2 sentences together. Ask him. Say, Doc thinks you're using AI to tweet. I think he is. Allegedly. I think Booner, when I read him, I'm like, these sound intelligent. He's using AI. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was just an easy one. I don't know. It seems like the Michigan contingent seems to be supporting AI a lot more than the state contingent. Doughboy Steve, love it. I don't need AI. I learned to write and research in elementary school. Preach, brother, preach. Steve Wilds, give Ahmed a chance. It can't be worse. Yeah, he'll get a chance. He's going to get a chance. Make sure, look at One Repub's counting the likes. We want to get to 50 every show. 21 likes so far. More. Smash the like button. Retweet. Thank you for your support. It's fun. Like I said, I'm no on Bradley Chubb. I think you can go with Al-Quadin Muhammad. You can get other defensive ends too, maybe a little bit more affordable. Let me check in with what Vito wrote here. I forgot. Christian edited it. What did he write? 3 free agents the Lions can realistically sign. We have an edge. All right, I'll give Vito credit. This is our daily check-in with Detroit Lions on SI, your friendly site that other sites love to aggregate. Your friendly Detroit Sports Nation loves my content. They love me. The Detroit Sports Nation AI computer loves me. Loves my content. Doesn't agree with my content, but loves me. This is our daily check-in with our work here on our website, which you can clearly see. And listen, no AI computer is going to write this. I tell Vito, don't write without further ado. He writes it every day. Without further ado. And half the time I cut it out of his articles. But he writes it. I let it slide this time. So no AI is going to write this. Without further ado, here are 3 free agents the Lions could realistically target. Our crew here loves Yetur Gross-Matos. 6'5", 265. He'll be 28 this year. In 8 games last year, he logged 158 defensive snaps, 11 quarterback hurries, 13 pressures, and a solid 75.7 pass rush grade. 1 year, $3.5 million. Vito likes tight end Austin Hooper. 31, $2 million. Listen, man, if you're looking cheap, look at Vito. Vito's in the cheap department. Jack Conklin. Oh, that's a name that everyone's going to be like, Jack Conklin? That's the cheap. Those are the cheap options from my guy Vito. Jack Conklin, Austin Hooper, and Yetur Gross-Matos. Thanks for checking in to Detroit Lions NSI. Look, it's a clean site. It's very much written by us, no AI, and it's a site that you can be proud of, that you can watch videos, see all the good reports that you can enjoy. So, I respect everybody for checking it out. All the latest Lions news and information is there. What do you guys think of Vito's list? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I know, Steve. I know. We're looking cheap. That's what I told Vito. I said, Vito, you're going cheap. Cheap. Vito went cheap. Come on, AG's burner. You can read. Pretty soon, I'll tell the tech guys. Listen, by 2028, can you get it where a lovely female reads it to these people? Without further ado, here's what Vito Churko thinks. Without further ado, Austin LeBeau. So, Doc, do you believe that Brad Holmes will go discount shopping for defense and offense? I think he goes discount shopping for defense, and offense, he tries to make a splash for the offensive line. Right. Tyler can read. He just can't comprehend. I think that's the biggest problem. Everybody can read. They just don't understand what they're reading. Zyke. I know. When you go cheap, nobody likes those names. That's what I said to Vito. I said, damn, Vito. But Vito's realistic. Zyke, I think that a lot of the free agent signings are going to be like, ooh. Oh, man. Thank you, One Repub. What's not to love? I'm honest. I tell you what I like, I tell you what I don't, and I say it directly. I do. I see a restructure for Jared Goff, for sure. And that might be it. Oh, a lot of super chats coming in. Man, let me get through some of these. More worried about AI, Doc, than Skynet. You guys will tell me how it's used. It'll be interesting to see if we go away from traditional Wi-Fi and internet services. I don't know. Do you guys use VPNs? Do you guys find ways to keep your stuff protected? Who the hell knows? My information's been robbed so many times, and I feel like my IP address has been all over the world and 50 times. So who knows? $5 super chat. Thank you, Nuga, for your super chat. Anthony Berard 3611. Doc, hello from Chicago. I'm a loyal Lions fan and love watching your podcast. You'll always be around, I'm sure. With great people like you and the ability to relate mano a mano, I think I'll be around too in some form or fashion. I'm a real guy, former Detroit Lions season ticket holder. I do a daily podcast. I grind, and I'm in the mix just like everybody else. You may like it, you may not like it, but you will respect it. I will force you to respect it. Anthony, it means a lot. Shout out from Sterling Heights, Michigan, to wherever you are in Chicago. That means a lot. To take time out to message, drop a super chat means a lot. And feel free. This community is your community. Share what you like, what you don't like, what you want me to talk about. It's all good, man. And I appreciate that humbly. Nuga's in here. Just wait for the doc files to be released. They've already been released all over the internet. But I'm going to respectfully show you what the 97 to 2001 files look like. It's a bunch of black lines over words redacted. I have the ability to redact all of what happened to Michigan State. It's been redacted. The doc files are redacted from 1997. From 1979 to 1997, Mr. Macaroon was an upstanding Christian boy. He was a very nice man, upstanding citizen, no trouble. Graduated high school, 4.0 grade point average, and then he stepped foot onto the campus of Michigan State University. And what happened to Doc at Michigan State? The doc files have been established. I have an account at Michigan State. The doc, line by line by line. What's all these black lines? All redacted, baby. I got them all redacted. If the cell phone era was there at Michigan State, there would be no Detroit Lions on his side. There would be no John Macaroon. There would be no practice. There would be nothing. There would be no wife. There would be no two kids. What happens at Michigan State stays at Michigan State. It's between me and the dozens and dozens of friends that I made. The beautiful interactions, the poems that were written, the walks that were taken, all consensual. It was beautiful. I walked into Michigan State like this. I came out a man. I grew hair on my chest. But those files have been redacted. They will never see the light of day. If I get $1 million contract, one of the first podcasts I do will be the Michigan State files. I'll give you a little taste. I was a young man and a happy man. And I went to Michigan State, an inexperienced young man, sheltered, with two wonderful parents. First weekend, we get there Thursday. Thursday night, I'm at Acres Hall. I get 3 roommates, totally different. They're like, we're going to party. I'm like, it's Thursday. It's the first day I'm here. We're like, yeah, we're going to party. I'm like, right now? They're like, yeah. I'm like, this is great. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. There are people drinking and they're having a good time. By 11:30, there were some lovely, lovely individuals without their clothes on, of the variety that I would be impressed with. And they were doing things to each other that I was very happy to sit and go, wow, I could like this. And I was like, this is night 1. What the hell's going on here? I'm like, these girls maybe just met each other? Or are they dating? I'm like, this stuff goes on. They're like, welcome to Michigan State. And I was like, I think I'm going to love it here. And I think I'm going to be very, very happy. Very, very happy. And that was night 1. I saw things that are unspeakable. Those were the days. We rioted because they took away our spot to drink. I didn't riot. I was a conscientious observer, but I was disciplined. So my approach was, okay, I could fall into the depths of hell with whatever these people are doing. I said, okay, I'm going to study and I'm going to party every Saturday. That was my day to be free. Saturday at 6, got off of work, found where to hang out, and Doc was coming in more ways than one. To the party, to the frat house, to the thing, to their house, to her friend's house, to her parents' house. I had a good time. So, but then Sunday, back to the grind. So that's what I promised, was I was disciplined, but I partied my ass off once a week. And it was the best time of my life. No phones, no memory, no validity if you could prove it or not. There is no tape of the doc walking the streets, no MIPs. But I will say I did some debauchery things. I worked at Rite Aid. and let's just say some alcohol sales were used to facilitate dates. Do what you got to do. Working at Rite Aid I recommend, if I do it again, working at college was amazing. I sold alcohol to ladies at a discounted rate, and it was like a golden ticket. Your friendly neighborhood Rite Aid employee. Amazing. Your friendly neighborhood. Now he's a nice guy. Oh, the doc files. Maybe we will release doc files little by little over the next couple years. That was week 1. Oh, it was, yeah. My daughter's like, I want to go to Michigan State. Hell no, you're not. Hell no. Hell no. There will be no doc files released. You should be a national treasure, Doc. The doc files at Michigan State. Whew. They were like, we're taking away your tailgate at Munn Field. Oh, no, you're not. Up in flames. We lost to Duke after winning the title in 2001. We're not happy. Up in flames. Whew. I'm so thankful I survived Michigan State without phones, without records, without anyone remembering what my name was. I grew up there, man. But respectfully, I didn't do it every day. I grinded. I got a 4-year degree in psychology. I busted my ass. I worked a job. I partied on Saturday, and I got 4.0. That's how you do it. No trouble, no MIPs. Drunk on Saturday, grinding in the library on Sunday. That's the doc. Oh, yeah. And I definitely pissed on half the trees in that community. I pissed on all of them. I pissed on all of them. On all of them. And I don't know how I didn't get caught. Me and my boy were spraying. At midnight, we were the fertilizer. Me and my boy, we were fertilizing the trees every Saturday night. All those beautiful trees fertilized by the doc. It was the best time. It was a wonderful time. I wish I could relive it over and over again. All right, I got 5 minutes left. I wasn't saying with you guys. Dreamcast and chill. That's why East Lansing is a tree city. You guys made me happy today. Bring back some college memories. Is psychology really a degree? It is. It's the foundation of all my success. It really is. I highly recommend it. I learned about people. I learned about why people act the way they act. I learned how to handle when it was COVID. I learned how to, the study of human behavior has let me be successful in life. Right? No wonder Rite Aid's out of business. Yeah. Doc was not businessly ethical. Allegedly at the time. Listen, we made profit. Maybe not as much as they should have. Listen, you would do it too. You would do it too. They were 10s. I mean, I'm talking about the girls walk in and the boss would have to slap me in the head like, focus, idiot. I couldn't focus. Saturday night after games, I was in awe of what the hell was going on. I'm talking about 10 after 10 after 10 walking in. I was the happiest man. I was like, damn, like, John, go home. Your shift's over. I'm like, I ain't going home. I'm just going to sit here and watch who comes in here. Right? She's like, don't tell them. I'm like, well, I went to Michigan State. What do you think happened? You think I was a church boy? One last thing before we get out of here. I got 5 minutes. What did you guys think of Alex Anzalone? Can a linebacker, can a vet get in the highlight videos? Look, it was lighthearted. He was not pissed. He was joking around like, come on, social media, pump up your guy. He's like, I had the most career. If you don't know, yesterday, the Detroit Lions released a highlight video of a bunch of pass breakups, highlighting, not all breakups are bad, Valentine's Day theme. He sees it and goes, wait a minute, I just had the most career pass breakups and I had a good season. Where are my highlights? And he's just a regular guy that wants to highlight his stuff. I don't think it was that serious, but people saw it and were like, no, are you mad? And then all the slappies were like, no, Alex, you can't be mad. He's like, guys, don't take it that seriously. But he's like, I've always had beef with the social media team. He wants more of his stuff highlighted. And I get it, but I mean, come on. It's not need to be public. Just shoot the guy a DM. You know who he is. Be like, hey, man, where's my video? Hey, man, where is my highlights? And the reason is because when you promote him, it helps his free agency. He wants the free promotion. So I get it, but I don't think in that forum it's necessary. I would do something like that. You know, as you see, maybe all high ego guys feel the need to want their stuff highlighted when you see me go to the Detroit Lions website and I'm not there. So who am I to talk? But it was unnecessary because at that level, everything you do is going to be written about. I got 120 seconds left. Right? Rich Baldwin. Listen, my thoughts on Alex, you know, you gotta win some, lose some. Pick your battles. We'll talk more about it maybe tomorrow. We went to the doc files because Nuga wanted to know about the doc and his files. Thank you for the 7 super chats. Wait a minute. Was I being used? Yeah, hell yeah, I was being used. That's how a 6 gets a 10. But I'm going to tell you this. Back in 97, I was able to use my words effectively to get what I needed. I was, let's say, a Romeo. I was not I was svelte, in shape, in a good spot. Listen, I'm going to put it this way. If you're 18 years old and you can talk, you can go to Michigan State and have a great time. And we had a good time because there's a lot of alcohol and there's a lot of good times. It was amazing. I became a man, baby. I became a man. Fire show today. Thank you guys for listening. Hop on over to Crunch Time. Oh, yeah, now? Oh, my God. The camera I would have been ejected. First weekend. You asked what? Mr. Macaroon, you asked the girls to do what? You asked what? You are not allowed to objectify. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm objectifying. Testifying. I'm sorry. I'm doing all the eyeings. Sorry. Mr. Macaroon, did you tell Sam you were a liberal and then tell Christina you were a Republican? Maybe. I just said what I needed to say. That's all I know. Wait, Mr. Macaroon, did you lie to these girls? I thought I was honest at the time. Hell yeah, it worked. Bro, I'm happy. I got it out of my system. I got it out. That's why I never cheated. I got it out of my system. You talking about coming to America? Sow your royal oats. Yeah, it worked. It was, I can't stop smiling. You guys put me in a great mood. I'm not tired. All the great memories. And it was all fun. No drama. Because here's a secret. If you're going to have fun with a person, why not have fun twice? I never, ever once was one and done. Ever. I was like, we had fun. Let's have fun again. Once? Are you kidding me? Let's try for twice. Go over for like 3 minutes to troll. It's always hilarious. I will. You know what? I will. Thank you guys for listening. It was a good time. We went off the rails a little bit. It's Monday. It's the off season. We could talk about wild stuff. It was back in the day. You all remember the 60s. It was different. I had the 90s. It's a different era. But thank you guys for listening. I'm the Doc, John McAroon. I represent the Detroit Sports Podcast, and this is made possible thanks to On Sports Illustrated. They let us be us. Thank you for supporting. Smash the like button if you're entertained, and I'm sorry if you're disturbed. But I was a heterosexual male in college. What do you think was going to happen? But I was disciplined. 4 years in, 97 to 2001, it set the tone for my life. Go hard, party hard, work hard, and life will treat you good. That's what I was about. Disciplined, but when it was time to have fun, I had my fun, and it was worth it. I am under the assumption there's a little 3-4 docs that I don't know about, maybe, but no one's called me for them. I'm kidding. I was definitely scared of, bad things happening. So we were always having fun, clean, safe fun. Appreciate all of you. Go hard, work hard. Thank you for the super chats, and go over and ask Booner why he's using AI to tweet. One last roll call to Mishanuga, One Repub, Phil C, Steve Wilds, Xavier, AG's Burner. Steve Wilds is always great. Austin LeBeau. Appreciate all of you for listening in. Keith Fountain, all of you that commented today. It was a great show, great time. And I really do truly appreciate the opportunity to have some fun, be open, have a good time. And remember that this is all for entertainment. It's all for the opportunity to share that we've all had some story to tell. And luckily we have another day to tell it. I can't wait. Hopefully to talk tomorrow. It may, I don't know. Listen, my wife tells me the kids' schedule, and here's how it goes. John, you got to go to soccer practice on Tuesday. Okay. And then Tuesday hits, and I'm like, what's my schedule, hon? And you got this, and this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it may be taped tomorrow, maybe live, but I don't know off the top of my head, my kids' soccer schedule off the top of my head. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff going on, content, planning for the combine, planning for the show, having a good time. So if it's not, for sure, I think Wednesday will be live. But until we meet again, have a great time, everybody. Peace.